So we'll start with the back legs, just folding it at once, about a third of the way, before we stab it and then fold it again lengthways. So I've made the first fold and then I'll bring it in again, so it's thirds again. And as we did with the front legs, we'll leave that bit at the top there just open, so that later we'll be able to attach it underneath the hair. So we have a little strip of pre-felt to wrap around the foot on the back leg to make it a bit fatter at the end. So just tightly wrap it and stretch it as you go. So I've wrapped it round twice there, and I'll just move it up a little bit further up the foot to even it out. And then we'll wrap back towards the toes and before we stab that down to make it firm. So that's going to give us a better shape to the foot. And then next we'll be able to wrap the wool around the foot just to finish it off. So once you're ready to wrap the foot, you just take a nice thin strip. Again, we don't need an awful lot. I'm trying to wrap it nice and tight. You keep your fingers tight together so that the wool doesn't break easily. And we don't need to wrap up the length of the felt, just the foot area. So that's how it will attach underneath the hair. So we'll just finish off the foot by wrapping quite a short piece, just a thin piece over the toes, and that will tidy up the edge. So we'll just set those aside and move on to the ears. So a small piece of wool, again 2 pieces actually, because we have 2 ears, and I've got the wool running side to side. So once we get them roughly the size that we want, it's going to, again, thinking about the thigh, just enough to cover the ear with enough around to wrap on itself again. So I'm stabbing down the wool pieces. As you can see, it's quite used quite sparingly there. And I've lightly attached the wool to the felt pad, and now I'm going to go all the way around the felt ears, just round the edges, just so that it holds to the mat. So all the way around the edges it's attached to the mat again, like we did with when we were making the thighs. And then this should fold in nicely. It's holding to the mat enough so that you can fold that in. If it has too much, this is too much bulk there, you can put your hand to hold it down firmly and just tug away if there's too much. And don't forget to keep lifting up your ear as well. We don't want it to attach to your mat. So once we've got both ears covered, we're ready to put the colouring on the inside of the ears. Again, the colours we use quite sparingly, where you have some white and dark brown, black and a flesh colour. So you can just mess about and just lay down the colours that you till you think it looks right, and just stab those down lightly. You can take your ear to do the edges, just hold it in the card that's provided in the kit, and this will protect your fingers and hold it just so that you can finish off those edges and tidy up the fluffy bits. So we want to finish off by nipping the bottom of the ear together where the colours end, leaving enough for to attach to the ear. So if I just try and show you, I've just stabbed across lengthways, widthways I should say, there across the bottom of the ear, and I'll turn it over on the other side and again go backwards and forwards to nip that ear together. And then when you come to do the second ear, just measure it against the first one where you've nipped it in there, and then we're going to put it down and stab backwards and forwards again across the bottom of the ear. We turn it over and do it on the other side, and this will cause it to felt together and give it a nice shape at the base of the ear. So we'll set the ears aside and go back to the head. And we need to start adding some detail. So we can start by adding the white muzzle. Once we've got the white felted on, we want to stab out, as you can see, it's sort of like a Y shape and then the upside down V to mark out that brown area. So if you just stab with your single needle in that area to make those lines before we start adding the dark brown wool to show up where we have stabbed. Then we'll take some of the dark brown wool, and if you a very small piece you'll need, and rolling it between your hands to felt it, so pressing down really firmly there, and that will bring the wool together and make it a lot thinner. And then we're going to measure it out where you've stabbed, measure it out along that line to get an idea of the length that you're going to need, and then we can break it off to that size. So I'm going to firm it up a little bit more, and then just lay it along where I've stabbed. So maybe we can see a bit clearer now. I moved in a bit closer, so we can twist as well as we go, and that will make it a bit thinner and less fluffy. So we're stabbing, as you can see in the hair in the background there, hopefully. That's the line that I'm making now. So I'll take it down and then back it up on itself to do that. Then the line around the nose, back up again, twisting it again to keep it thin and quite fine. And then round to the other side of the nose to finish it off. And then we're going to roll up another shorter piece to finish off that mouth area.